that's a nice image. We need to do something with the books. So we went and got all the books, thousands of books, and we took them back to our warehouse. And Mika, she was talking about George Louis Borges, Argentinian writer, a story that he wrote about the Emperor Qi Shuang, who burnt a book for every brick that was laid down in the Great Wall of China. And we thought, that's a bad kind of thing in history. We need to flip that and build the wall of humanity out of creativity, out of ideas, out of sharing knowledge, instead of destroying it. By destroying books, by destroying culture and language, you kill people. So we tried to do it the other way around. So the wall of books came out of that. Then it just, over a series of iterations and additions, Mika designed the book. So the book would be held within the book. But the book is an empty book. And the book's only ever going to be filled by the public. So it's back to the sharing of the knowledge and the imagination. So that's the origination of the project, where we all met each other. We're all friends. And we all had a deep love and respect for each other, as people and as artists. And this project requires a lot of union. Yeah. And so we just kind of dance with each other and work out who's going to be best to involve in the project. And we stay dynamic with that.
In a way, the whole thing is about ideas. So it's a mixture of our ideas, and it's a mixture of the ideas that come to us, whether they be through artists that we meet or just people that we meet as it goes to different places.
Or a festival director. You need to interpret.
Yes.
A lot of interpretation.
그래서 처음에 이 책을 하시게 된 거는 다른 다른 분이, 여자분이 또 계셨대요. 근데 꿈을 꾸셨는데 책이 요새 많이 다른 것들로 대체되잖아요. 근데 그렇게 대체되는 게 싫고 이렇게 만들 수 있는 물질적인 이런 책이 중요하다고 생각하셨기 때문에 이렇게 꿈을 꾸신 거를 이렇게 책으로 이렇게 그 벽이 다 책으로 되어 있는 꿈을 꾸신 건데 그래서 이번 이렇게 그렇게 다른 IT나 이렇게 다른 전자 매체로 없어지는 책을 이런 공연을 통해서 책에 So you want to keep the importance of the physical book? Okay. 그래서 그 책의 중요성을 보존하고 싶으셨다고 합니다.
Because of the intimacy. So a physical book has energy and time. And when you read a book by yourself, you experience that communication between the writer and the reader.
그 책은 이제 물질적이기 때문에 그 친근감이 있잖아요. 자기가 이 작가가 쓴 글과 자기가 보면서 느끼는 그런 친근감이 있는데 So you think like computer or other things cannot replace the book or is
Well, they do similar things, but it's a very different thing. Like for example, like if you had a library, is that it there? Do you know what I mean? That's it. So what? It can hold a lot of things. But say if you had a library like that was filled with books, it's a place where people come, it's a place where people meet, people probably get married after going to the library, people probably work out all kinds of things that go on in their lives. People sit quietly usually in a library, but I mean, or there's just me, by myself, with this. Not the same. There's an intimacy where people come together. People, like you have the experience with the book, but also people are often in public places and in shared places when they actually experience these things.
이렇게 책은 도서관에 같이 가서 같이 보고 하는데 이런 미디어 같은 거는 혼자서 하는 거잖아요. 그래서 물론 이게 뭐 낫고 저게 낫다가 아니라 그게 매체가 다르니까 그렇게 해서 책을 보존하는 그런 퍼포먼스를 준비하셨다고 해요.
Also on that too, in the idea of a library, or in our library in a sense, is that like when ideas are shared, whether people then have communication. So this is a really strong place for people to communicate. communicate their ideas. Because it has a sense of a library, but it's also more about creativity and expression and people's feeling free to actually express themselves. Because that's what we want people to feel like when they come to us, is that you're safe here to express yourself.
Which is the same as the internet. It's the same as Web 2.0, but the big difference is that humans need physical engagement with each other. We need that as much as we need emotional intelligence and understanding. And you can't get that out of words or pictures just written and shared to each other.
Oh, so face to face.
Yeah, really important.
Human contact.
Yeah. 이렇게 인터넷이나 이런 걸 통해서는 충분히 인터넷하는 충분히 소통을 할 수가 없잖아요. 근데 이렇게 이런 데 가서 같이 얼굴을 맞대고 서로 아는 것을 교환하면은 그거는 다른 거니까 그 부분을 설명하고 계십니다.
There's a strange moment that happens too when we're playing in the public space, where people are like, what is this? And they spend a bit of time thinking, and then they realize that it's theirs to play with. And maybe they don't do anything the first time, they go away, and then they come back. And then you'll see them and they'll write for an hour, or draw for more, and they will just be around the environment and meet people. And it's beautiful, especially when we're in a place where we don't speak the same language as people down there. Because then you have this other level of connection, which is much more back to the other project about what makes us all the same. And we then are open to people sharing with us in their language, and we learn so much through that. It's just like an exchange, but it's also about spending time. We use our public spaces rarely now. Our public spaces are used to go from home to work or for protest. This type of thing is like a spiritual protest. It's like a place to commune people.
A haven.
A haven.
I want to make a haven in amongst the cities. Like what we see here, we see like what you have inside. It's the same everywhere. You know, you have public spaces that people, as Darcy saying, walk through. People very much set about their day-to-day activity, whatever that may be. And this is kind of a place we actually imagine that people can come to, which is much different than that. If this was permanent, which it can't be, this would be the place that you could come and basically do whatever you like, feel whatever you like.
And spend time. Like, the idea of spending time and quiet time, reflective time, that's not in a church, and it's not also then in a gallery or a library. This in a way is trying to kind of do all of those things, but without any commercial imperative and without any religious imperative. So
Celebrates creativity basically and ideas.
there's not many places you can sit down and be quiet without having to buy a drink.
So you think, is it the ideal type of the place that people can reflect themselves in there?
There's a version. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know, there's a sort of easy and difficult to explain at the same time. Most of the things we're working on tie together in one shape or another. So the things we talked about with toys, about the individual and the group and then the extension of everybody in a way, ties through all of the things that we're doing in a way. If you look at the work that we collect, if the things that we collect from people, from various cultures and cultures, we're very much interested in the culture, but what you'll see like beyond the culture is that everybody's exactly the same.
I think you've just heard a lot now, so you might want to spend some time in
Sorry, I don't think I can.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a bit unclear.
yeah.
Yeah. If you just ask us, tell us, say, wait, simple please, boys. We'll try it.